Steady now, you're doing great.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it!
The words sliced through the quiet hallway like a sudden gust of cold wind. "You don't belong in here," the billionaire snapped, her heels clicking sharply. Against the marble floor, she stormed toward the lone janitor kneeling beneath the grand staircase. It was long past midnight, the building silent except for the distant hum of fluorescent lights. At first glance, the janitor looked like any tired night worker worn uniform. Old shoes, a posture shaped by exhaustion, but something about the way he knelt there, shielding something with his body, made her stop. Asterisk, his name was Gabriel Stone. A single father who cleaned the towering corporate building every night while the world slept. Isabella Crane, the billionaire owner of the entire empire, had built her legacy on precision and control. Every corner of her tower reflected her discipline. So seeing a janitor crouched in a restricted area set off an immediate spark of irritation. She stepped closer, ready to reprimand him, maybe even fire him on the spot. But Gabriel didn't rise when she commanded it. Instead, he whispered, "Please, please, just give me 1 minute." His voice trembled not with guilt, but fear. Isabella's annoyance sharpened. No one asked her for a minute. She was about to unleash her anger when she finally saw what he was hiding. Under the dim light, a small pair of tired eyes looked up at her. A little girl, no more than 6, sat curled on a makeshift bed of folded janitor jackets. Her dark curls were messy from restless sleep, her cheeks warm with fever, her tiny hands clutching a half-damaged stuffed rabbit. She blinked at Isabella with a mixture of fear and innocence that stopped the billionaire cold. Gabriel moved protectively, shielding his daughter. "She wasn't feeling well tonight," he said quietly. "I couldn't leave her alone at home. I just needed to finish my shift. I didn't want to lose my job." His voice broke, but he held himself steady. "Please don't be angry with her. She didn't do anything wrong. I just want to keep feeding her." For the first time in years, Isabella felt something crack through her hardened exterior. The intensity of Gabriel's devotion, the desperation in his tired eyes, the way the girl leaned on him with absolute trust, all of it hit her with unexpected force. She had spent her entire life surrounded by ambition, power, greed. But here, in the quiet of her empty skyscraper, was something purer. A man sacrificing himself night after night for the only person who mattered to him. The girl coughed weakly, and Gabriel immediately pulled her close, rubbing her back with gentle hands. He wasn't embarrassed about his poverty, his job, or his situation. What terrified him most was the idea of failing his daughter. Isabella realized she wasn't looking at a man breaking rules. She was looking at a father breaking himself to protect his child. Memory flashed through Isabella's mind, her own father working nights at a factory. Coming home exhausted, falling asleep at the kitchen table with grease on his hands. She remembered the way she used to whisper, "Daddy, are you okay?" And the way he always answered, "As long as you're okay, I'm okay." She hadn't let herself think of him in years. Not since success hardened her heart into something unrecognizable. But Gabriel's devotion shattered that wall. "Why didn't you tell someone?" Isabella finally asked, her voice much softer than before. Gabriel kept his eyes down. People don't usually listen. The truth of those words stunned her more than anything else. Slowly, unexpectedly, Isabella kneeling beside him, something she had never done for anyone under her employment, felt natural. She placed a gentle hand on the little girl's blanket. The child's forehead was warm. Too warm. Isabella inhaled sharply. "She needs real rest." "Real care." Gabriel nodded helplessly. "I can't afford to miss another shift. I'll lose this job." Isabella stood up and said quietly, "Come with me." Gabriel hesitated. "Where?" "To my office," she said. "It's warm, quiet, safe." He followed her down the empty hall, carrying his daughter carefully. A few night staffs stopped and stared. They had never seen Isabella Crane carry anything softer than a briefcase, let alone show compassion. But she didn't care. Wealth meant nothing in that moment. Authority meant nothing. Only decency did. Isabella opened the large glass doors of her office, dimly lit by soft, warm lamps. She guided Gabriel to the couch-expensive leather, wide enough for a child to stretch out comfortably. She laid the little girl down and covered her with a cashmere blanket. The child relaxed instantly, tension leaving her small body as sleep took over again. Gabriel stood near the door, overwhelmed, unsure if this was real. "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought her. I just didn't have. Don't apologize for being a father," Isabella said gently. Gabriel blinked, stunned. She poured him a cup of tea with her own hands, an act she had never done for any employee. Then she said words he had never expected. "Your daughter is safe here. And from now on, so are you." He stared at her, confused. Isabella walked to her desk and wrote something carefully on a piece of paper. When she handed it to him, he read it slowly, then read it again, unable to believe it. A new position, higher pay, day hours, full benefits, a real chance at stability. Gabriel's knees nearly buckled. "Why?" He whispered, tears gathering in his eyes. "Why would you do this for me?" Isabella's voice softened with the truth she had long buried. "Because I grew up watching a man just like you. He worked himself to the bone to give me a life he never got to enjoy, and I never helped him when I could have. I'm not making that mistake again." Gabriel covered his mouth as a sob escaped him. Gratitude and relief poured out in waves he could no longer contain. From the couch came a tiny whisper. "Daddy?" He rushed to his daughter's side and took her hand gently. "Everything's okay," he told her, voice trembling with emotion. "Everything's finally okay." Isabella turned away, blinking back tears of her own. Dawn began to warm the windows as the first light of morning entered the office. In that quiet moment, a new chapter began for all three of them, one built on compassion, understanding, and second chances. Gabriel had been invisible for so long, but tonight, someone finally saw him. And Isabella, hardened by years of ambition, finally saw herself again through a father's love. Sometimes the richest person in the room is the one fighting with everything they have for someone they love. And sometimes the most powerful thing a billionaire can do is simply to see them